Hello. In this video, I wanted to talk about a standard unit. So, to start off, I made this small sprite. It's not perfectly designed in any way. I made it fast. So, it has a length. It was designed in a 16 by 16 pixel box. And when you look at it in front of a house, you can tell, oops, sorry, wrong one. You can tell that this sprite is about the same size as the door. Probably should have been a bit smaller so that so this person wouldn't be banging their head on the door whenever they open it. But you have to think of it like this. This sprite was designed with the intention of the house in front of it. Much like in the real world, most things are based on percentiles, because if you look at a car, for example, they base it to fit people based on percentiles. Like when it comes to cars in generally, yeah, you can adjust a seat, you could adjust a wheel, but they have to pick something to represent people. When people go in that car, like, it has to fit people. If it was too large, people wouldn't be able to drive it. If it was too small, people wouldn't be able to fit in it. So in general, they create percentiles. I mean, they write books on this stuff. If you ever think of like a kitchen knife or a fork or something like that, those are also based on percentiles. Everything designed is based on something. So I'm going to talk about creating a standard unit for your pixel art. I just made some really quick examples here. But yeah, as before, this guy fits in this house, and he's designed to fit in this world. For different effects, of course, larger doors exist in the world. Say, like a castle, like the entrance to a castle could be massive. So yeah, certain things are used for dramatic effect, but in general, it could be really helpful to keep in the back of your mind, whether that be your main player character or something, to have some type of standard unit for your pixel art. And you could do it based on percentiles. The other thing you want to think about is if, say, your character is not an adult, you probably want to design your world as if it was like for people. In the real world, they don't design like normal doorways for houses for kids. They design them for adults. So you have to think of it in terms like that. The other important thing is that when you do your standard unit, you also have to think of perspective. So this whole thing here was just for, it's just forward. It's just like straight on. There's not really any depth here. So if you were to take that house away, if you were to put this guy in a different world, say like the 3/4 perspective world, you would see that it runs into some issues here, because the guy is not in perspective with the house. I mean, you could definitely make sprites that are 8 ways, and in general, what I would suggest is, depending on how you want to make everything, whether you want to keep a certain perspective or whatnot, or whether you don't have to keep everything 100% in perspective. If you ever look at like video games and whatnot, in which if everything was truly receding, then as you move in the game, things would get larger as you get closer to them, and they would get smaller as you get bigger to them, perspectively. So you have this guy here, and it could also be helpful. Like, yeah, you may be able to have a sprite that walks forward like this. I'm not saying everything has to be in like a 3/4 style, but it could be helpful to also design a guy that is in the 3/4 position as well for something like this. I know this isn't really true 3/4. Probably should be faced forward a bit more, but I kind of worked on really small units here. But yeah, you would see that this guy is about the height of the door. That's kind of what I was trying to keep it to. So yeah, I think it is important to pick something for your standard unit as you go, for, if not consistency, for the feel. The last thing I wanted to talk about was Okay, let me pull it up. So thinking about Super Mario Bros., the original game. Sorry about all this other stuff you're seeing on the screen. If you think of it, Mario here, right? Mario was designed intentionally to like be in this style all throughout the game. I can't remember the dimensions he is. Sorry about all the ads. I can't remember the dimensions Mario is, but if you look at like the way a Goomba's designed, the way the blocks are designed, they're all designed with that in mind. The whole world was created with Mario in mind. Probably his larger form as well. But you have to think how everything is created around him. So that's very related when you make a video game or pixel art, to always keeping everything in that viewpoint and everything in mind as you go about. So I hope this video kind of helps give you a little bit of an idea for what to do. I really like the Spriters resource. Obviously, you never want to steal, but it could be a really good resource for learning about others' art. I think it's always good to try it on your own rather than just take it. But yeah, so do keep all of this in mind as you go about. I hope to have a better example. I may touch upon this again because I just made some very crude examples as I was going, but I just wanted to get the idea across. But yeah, I think your standard unit, it's probably also good for you to save it in a file, in its own file, maybe like a sprite sheet of some sort, and then whenever you need it, you can just copy and paste it, so you could always be doing comparisons as you do architecture or like level design for your world. Yeah, it's very important to do that. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question, please ask in the comments. If you like the video, please like it. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much for listening. I'll put a link in the bottom for the Sprite resource. As I said before, never steal, but learning from others could be incredibly beneficial. But yeah, thanks again for listening. Bye.